Welcome to Chinwag with the Horsemen. I'm Andrew.
I'm Mayberry.
I'm James.
And I'm Casey.
We are coming to you wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Spotify. We are on Pandora. We are on all the major podcasting platforms. We're also on YouTube. Some of you might be watching us there if you want to take a look at our pretty faces and also A-Berry's face. And then you can also see the uncensored version, the uncut version of Chinwag with the Horsemen. And you might get to see what caused A-Berry to burst into a rage a minute ago. If James doesn't edit that off the video, we'll just have to see. But it was pretty hilarious. We are powered by Riverside FM. Want to make sure that we give them a shout out. I think that's gone pretty well so far, guys. What do y'all think?
It's really good. They've implemented some AI technology and stuff to help with the editing process. So it's made my job a little bit easier since I'm back to work. So
yeah, James is no longer a man of leisure. So those AI tools are really helpful with editing the podcast. We do want to acknowledge really quickly that Casey is, we'll get to that in a minute because that's one of the topics. So I shouldn't spoil that yet. But anyway, Casey, we'll start with you. If the good people want to reach us by email, how would they do that? What email address would they use?
They'd go to chinwagwithhorsemen@gmail.com.
That's right. Hey, Barry, if they, for whatever reason, do decide that they want, are you like twisting your mustache like a 1920s movie villain?
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes. It's long enough. I can do it.
Das Boot.
Das Boot.
Hey, Barry, if the people want to look at us on the YouTube, what do they need to search in their YouTube machine to find us?
Das Boot? Oh, no, sorry. That's another one.
Oh, my gosh.
Chinwag with Horsemen. That's it, right?
Yes, that'll bring it up.
that'll pull it up. It's Chinwag with the Horsemen.
But that's okay.
Oh.
That'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Just you'll find it.
As long as you add the with the Horsemen in there, you'll be good. Because as we found out, if you just search Chinwag, you get Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, or you get random
nobody
things.
wants Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
And you just search Horsemen,
So,
you get some
James?
other people.
Yeah, some guys in like a wrestling show. I don't know.
Yeah. It's real good stuff.
James, if they want to, I started to say tweet at us. Is that still correct?
I have no clue. I don't know if they want to X at us or mark us. I don't know. We'll have to ask Elon, I guess.
Well, we'll call him later. But if they want to reach us on the platform formerly known as Twitter,
now known as X, it's just at Chinwag Horseman.
That's right. So we are very reachable for anybody who wants to communicate with us. We'd love to hear from you. We really enjoy hearing from people. But anyway, we've got the boo bag question, or excuse me, boo bag. I was looking at mailbag and boo bear at the same time, but we do have a boo bear question of the week. James, you want to take us right into that?
Sure. So it's been a while since we've had a boo bear question. So we've gotten a good one here, I feel like. He wants to know if your life was a movie, what song would play during a fight scene? Because, we're all hardened, fighters here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Casey? What would yours be?
Well, I've given this a lot of thought. Not really, but so I'm going to go with the Danger Zone because
you're good choice. Good choice.
You're about to step into the danger zone if we're getting into it. From the 1980s epic movie Top Gun, of course.
That's a good choice.
Danger Zone.
That's about as much of that as we can do without getting sued by Kenny Loggins. So.
Yeah, that's all I can do. Only 0.2 seconds of that song. Sorry.
We should invite him on the show.
I mean, when we get off the phone with Elon, we'll call Kenny.
Talk to Kenny Loggins.
Yeah. That'll work. Hey, Barry, what are you thinking?
Well, you got the classic, like the spaghetti western ones. You know, that one. I
The what?
can't do it. I was gonna do it, but I couldn't do it.
There's literally no way you expect us to know what song you're talking about by you going, dude, you know that one.
Yeah, I know. But you know the one right before the shoe outs.
Okay, do you mean do wow wow wow?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're
That's a good person.
But I did just watch Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. With my girlfriend and her kids. And they had Highway to Hell. So like that would be a fun one that, you know, you just point at the guy and go, and then it starts playing that they on the highway to hell. that would be a fun one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because I'm going to win the fight. Like, and so they on the way, you know.
Not if you fight Tyson Fury. He's a peak athlete.
Well, then I'm on the highway.
You would have a rough time.
But I feel like me and Tyson Fury would probably get along.
I agree.
You're both crazy, so sure.
Yeah,
I'll agree with that.
Das Boot.
Gosh. We'll explain Das Boot in a minute.
What do you got, Andrew?
Well, I was going to say it's kind of situational. I was going to say, what's that song about? They say that a hero can save us.
Oh, Hero?
You know, yeah, Hero.
Yeah.
That one. But since Casey picked Highway to the Danger Zone and Avery picked Highway to Hell, I'm going to have to say Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts would be my...
Wait, hold on. Can I just,
That's a great.
That's a great one.
wait,
That
can I
is
just
a fantastic one.
Can I ask?
I would not want to fight somebody.
They're playing Life is a
Wait.
You guys,
Did they say
you're getting ready to throw down. You're squaring up, and then Life is a Highway comes up.
Or I could
hold
do
on.
Casey. What about I could do Cattle Call? You remember that, Casey?
Oh God! Oh my goodness! Oh no! Oh,
If you've never heard Cattle Call, you need to look that up and play it. You can hear Eddie Arnold do it. Leanne Rimes did a version. I mean, it's a country standard from way back.
We had a good time having fun with that song.
So you think Cattle Call, and it's all about cowboys and herding cows. So you think, man, this must be some tough individuals this is singing about.
Yeah.
And it is the, oh man, I can't even do it.
It's like, ooh. I don't know. Basically that for a whole.
It's literally like, ooh.
Wait.
So Casey used to say, I aim to kill you because you killed my paw. But first, let me get my cattle in.
That would be a good one too.
Oh my gosh!
I feel like that would be embarrassing if you get your ass kicked by somebody playing Life is a Highway or Cattle Call. That's man.
Is this going to happen? Do you have to sing the song before the fight, or is this during?
No. It plays. So like, you know, it's like. It's got like the silent like build up, and then all of a sudden the music starts playing like they do in the movies, or like in a video game when you enter a boss arena, like the music changes. That's what I envision is taking place.
I kind of like the idea though, that I would sing Cattle Call with the guy I'm about to fight.
We're gonna call him cattle. I'll kill you.
Can we go backwards and like add in like the beginning music as like before the fight starts?
Like what your normal walk around music is?
Business time.
Yes. Yes.
Business time.
Business time.
Business
That's
time.
Avery's life theme right there.
James, I don't know if there's any more highway theme songs we can think of for you to pick for your song.
I mean,
I'm just doing my job. I'm the highway patrol.
yeah, there you go. There's that one. I could do Weird Al's Another One Rides the Bus.
Yeah.
Like, no, but if I had a fight theme song or something like that played, I would want it to be "Flirting with Disaster," Molly Hatchet.
Pretty good song.
Yeah.
I like it. Because they're flirting with disaster. It's about to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're flirting hard
down
with
the road,
disaster.
Just minding their business.
Mm-hmm.
And they're flirting with disaster. I don't know what's about to happen.
Yep.
They're about to find out that life is a highway, and it's a highway to hell. And
They're going to be...
You take
They're
the
in the
highway
danger
straight
zone.
to the danger zone.
There you go.
After the danger zone.
After a natural
it's-
disaster.
It's death. That's all.
It's just
after
death.
the danger zone.
It's just straight up death. Well, Casey, you hacking up a lung there kind of served as a good segue to one of our topics, and I have it listed here as Casey has the TB blues, and that is a reference to a Jimmy Rogers song who died of tuberculosis. He had a song called the TB Blues, and he sang about having tuberculosis. So, Casey, you're suffering a little bit with some TB, right?
Not quite the TB, but
okay.
I'm I've been under the weather for the past week, of course, but I'm doing better. I'm coughing up less blood than normal, so I guess.
I think no blood is probably the appropriate amount to cough up. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a medical professional, but
No blood's probably the right answer most of the time.
so you're
Can we just
you're
say-
coughing up some blood though.
Yeah, minimal to moderate amounts of blood.
Can we just say
I'm
when
sorry,
he says,
Barry, are we boring you with Casey's
no,
tuberculosis?
sorry, it's been long weeks, man. It's been long weeks.
I'm doing okay though. I'm doing better. So my tuberculosis or whatever is doing better. So
Let me ask
Did
you
you
a
get
question.
did you get the drier climates?
I did move to Arizona, but
Okay.
Are you in a TB ward right now?
I am.
Yeah. Let me ask you a
But-
question as a medical professional. Is there any extent to where there's like small droplets of blood in every cough or anything?
I don't think it's normal for there to be. I mean, you could have a little bit of blood for certain things, maybe, but it's not good. Generally, it's not good if there's blood coming out of your lungs or normal things that blood's not supposed to normally come out of.
So it's
not
okay.
usually good.
It's okay if there's blood in your lungs as long as it doesn't come out.
No, that's probably not good either.
So we've been joking about tuberculosis, but Casey's sister actually did have like an eradicated disease one time.
Oh, no, she had scarlet fever or something.
That's right. His sister had scarlet fever. Like we're on Little House on the Prairie or something.
You don't just hear about them day to day. It happens, but it's not super duper common, I suppose.
Wasn't it like strep that turned into scarlet fever or something like that?
Yeah, strep turns into scarlet fever. So if you get the strep, it can turn into the scarlet fever.
So is that what happened to Helen
what
Keller? She
causes-
had strep throat and
And then
Oh,
scarlet fever.
We can't talk about Helen Keller. I think Helen Keller is a hoax. I do not believe in Helen Keller.
All right, so welcome to the conspiracy theory with Chinwag with the Horsemen.
this week, Helen Keller is a fraud.
I really think she is. Hang on,
She
I'm going to look up a
ain't
Helen Keller
real.
quote. Das Boot.
That's good.
I mean, I think she
hold on.
existed, but I don't think she did what they claim she did.
Wait, hold on for a second. Speaking of Little House on the Prairie, the teacher just died from cancer.
Little
That's
House
sad.
on the Prairie.
Yes, she was the teacher for
From the
Little House on the
TV
Prairie.
show?
Yeah,
Man, that's terrible.
From the TV show or from the actual era that it's based on?
From the 1870s
that's the
or
TV show.
whenever.
The TV show.
Do you know what happened at the end of the TV show of Little House on the Prairie?
Uncle John came back.
Didn't they blow the town up or something?
Yeah, they blew everything up. They blow the whole town up.
That's hilarious.
Like that's the end of Little House on the Prairie. They blow everything up.
What do? Do they just leave? They're like, well, that's that.
Pretty much, they're like, all right, everybody pack up, we're out of here. And then they blow the town up.
Time to hit the Oregon Trail, I guess.
Time to hit the Oregon Trail. Okay,
Hope we don't get dysentery.
Helen Keller was stricken at 19 months old with an unknown illness.
Scarlet fever.
It could have been, you know. It says she was able to communicate somewhat at the time of it, but it wasn't like she was a fluent speaker or whatever. So at 19 months old, she contracted this illness. Y'all have kids older than 19 months. Okay, Helen Keller said, let's see, something that she was, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. I think there are concepts in some of these quotes that there would be no way for her to understand, having not seen or heard anything from the time she was 19 months old.
I think a lot of it is like her caretaker.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think she
just like, you know, how unfortunate it is, like nowadays people take advantage of individuals like that. I think that was what was taking place back then.
I think so too.
But just, you know, I can make money and her family can make money off of her saying these things when it's really, you know, the caretaker.
The caretaker. Could anybody else communicate with her apart from this caretaker, or without the caretaker being involved?
Well, eventually she was said to be able to like speak, and I don't know how she. I don't know the answer to that really, but here's a quote from Helen Keller: "Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see the shadow." Okay, if she was completely unable to hear, see, or speak from the time she was 19 months old, would she know what sunshine is? Would she know what shadow is?
Well, she would hit.
Well, you can feel the warmth of the sun.
Yeah.
But how would we tell her? How would we tell her that's from the sun?
You tell her, "Hey, do you feel the warmth on your face? You're looking directly at the sun.
She can't hear
turn you away."
She can't hear you.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on for 1 second, because this part's gonna get probably edited out.
I mean, it sounded
Wait,
very,
hold on.
you know.
What?
Wasn't her whole life in shadows? Because she was blind?
That's what I'm saying. She would have no concept of anything but that.
So she was always looking at the shadows of life.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. That's getting edited out. That whole pregnant pause and that. Here's the thing. If it sounded like an inspirational quote that somebody would hang or print and hang in their room to look at every day, that's probably, you know, what they were going for.
I agree. Here's another one. No pessimist ever discovered the secret of the stars or sailed to an uncharted land or opened a new doorway for the human spirit. She would have no idea what a pessimist was. She would have no idea what the stars were or what their secrets are. She would have no idea how to sail. I doubt she ever saw a boat. She was from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's not like she grew up looking at boats. She wouldn't have any idea what an uncharted land is because she couldn't see a map. I just don't think she said these things.
Like I said, it's probably the caretaker teacher or whatever just making these quotes up and saying they're coming from her.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's Charlotte's Web. That's all it is.
It is Charlotte's Web.
That's old Charlemagne.
Was a wise individual to come up with all these fancy quotes or whatever.
Hey, Bray, did you just say it's Charlemagne?
Yes, I did. Is that not right?
Nope, no, that's not right. Charlemagne.
I don't know anybody out there that had Charlemagne on their bingo card of Chinwag with the Horsemen, but if you did, congratulations, you probably just got bingo.
Charlemagne was the Frankish emperor. He was Charles the Great, and he divided his kingdom up among his children. And one of them became king of France, one of them became king of Italy, and one of them became king of Germany, I think, or somewhere else. Germany, hey.
Das Boot!
There you go. There it is.
Well, Casey, we're all glad you don't have tuberculosis and that you're not going to be struck deaf, dumb, and blind like Helen Keller. And
Yes, I'm thankful for that. So
Why do you have to put in
Hey,
dumb?
look. You
it
could
means
be.
you can't speak.
Yeah, that's what it means. You could be like Doc Holliday, Casey, and live, a long time with tuberculosis.
could move out and get into gunfights and such.
Yeah, I mean, he lived 7 years after the gunfight at the OK Corral with tuberculosis, but granted, 7 years in the 16 years he had the disease, it's like a drop in the hat.
Hey, you could do gunfights and we could sing Danger Zone.
Yeah.
You did them.
Sweet.
Yeah, or that spaghetti western that everybody wanted.
Wow, wow, wow. All right, so that takes care of Casey's TB Blues.
TB Blues are better.
You should look that song up. It's a good song. Hey, Barry, we had a Heritage Festival in our hometown this weekend, and you saw something kind of interesting there you were telling us about.
Well, so it usually is very interesting at this festival. You people come out, with different items that they have made. So these, woodworkers that come out with trees. Trees. I mean, with
They just carry a tree out. Look at this. Look, the majestic oak.
It's so nice. Look at my oak.
I carved it for 3 days.
But then
all right,
you
continue.
got
Sorry.
People who makes jewelry and lawn, ornaments and stuff. Well, so I'm walking around and I get to this booth that is a candle making booth, and I'm like, oh, look at these candles. Then I look at them fully, and it is a very in-depth woman's torso with no clothing on.
So is it like the Venus?
It's like something. It was boobs, butt, and crotch.
Okay, so you mortgaged your house and bought all of those candles.
No, so Andrew did that because they
sure did.
when I went back, they was already closed down.
I shut them down, man. I said,
You should have
These are
just
all
speed
mine.
dialed the bank, Avery, while you were there. Get cleared for that money up front.
oh, I
Well,
beat
That's
him
what you
to
should
it.
have done.
As soon as he told me, I ran with a blank check.
Yeah, old
the
money
vendor.
bags
Put down
McKinney
every-
there.
So my girlfriend had a interesting take on it that I should have bought a couple, and they could have been the crazy Christmas gifts that you give people.
I don't want a naked woman candle for Christmas. I don't.
But then the question came: How?
Wait.
How would that
I kind of
melt?
want a naked woman candle for
Well, then we thought about how would that actually once you lit, how it would melt down. Was the last question of the day?
Here's the important question: where did the wick come out of?
Out of the neck.
Perfect.
Okay, all right.
So I will say about this is I was working the festival for work, and so they came and told me about this, and I think Avery and I kind of reacted the same way. It's like, oh my gosh, what is that doing here? And Avery's girlfriend she had a different reaction. She was kind of laughing at me and Avery clutching our pearls over this naked woman candle, but. But
Well,
it was where we're from. There was naked woman candles.
Yeah, that's a little extreme for that festival.
Yeah.
Well,
Very.
like they didn't.
Did you?
Now the festival
Well, that's
has
out of character.
changed. Like it used to have, petting zoo, like the 4-H used to set up there to show you how to make apple butter. Like it was like grandparents and the grandkids. I mean, it's not one that you get to see that. Like, that's not one of those appropriate things.
Yeah, it was way different.
And so now after the lost years, it's this, and it was like, wait, this is not correct.
The times they be a changing.
Yeah, it's true.
Booby candles. That's all I gotta say.
Booby candles.
Booby candles.
Booby candles.
Das Boot.
It was. It really was kind of, a little disappointing the way they did have music, but it was not like it used to be. It was just different.
A lot of the old timers that would have been there, unfortunately have passed, and a lot of those traditional skills have gone to the wayside. Like nobody wants to do those anymore. I mean,
it's true.
There's a lot of people move from different places moving into all Appalachian regions. I don't know.
Yeah,
people just flooding in for some reason.
I do have to say, like, there was some good picking, Brendan, but it wasn't like it used to be.
No, it wasn't. And that's unfortunate because nobody needs your hippie naked woman candles. What we need is apple butter
in naked woman jars.
I
was trying to think how to work that in there. But good job, James.
Here we are.
The tuberculosis has gotten to Casey's brain.
It has.
Oh no, he's got the fog.
Holes to it.
There's two things that should be at the festival: homemade apple butter in naked woman jars, or homemade honey in naked woman jars. No naked woman candles.
So this one, they should be focusing on making jars instead of candles. And
we draw the line at naked woman candles.
Yeah, candles are ridiculous.
Gone. Look at when you burn it all. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah. What will you look at?
You just wasted a candle there.
It's just gonna be. And then it's going to be a pile of wax on your counter.
Yep.
It's not in a jar.
Jars are so much more useful. Like, they last longer. You can clean them out. You can drink from them. Like, yeah.
like this.
From them.
Like this.
You can put your moonshine in your naked woman jars.
Yeah, there you go.
Things have changed a lot from
your Jack and Coke. I mean.
Yeah, it has changed a lot, and it's
sad to see.
It's very sad to see.
Like I'm all right if that's how you make your living. Fine, good. At that festival where there's children running around, and they're gonna be asking all the questions, and it's like, no, you don't know.
Back in our grandparents' day, they probably would have freaked out if such a thing. It probably would have been they would have run them out of town, or I don't know.
They would have run them out of town.
It would not have been a good thing. I don't know. Not that it's
So what everybody suggested is they should have put up a rope or a curtain to cover those items.
Well, no, like if your thing is candle making, like put those in, in the back or whatever, and put if that's what you wanted to do, then fine. Don't put them front and center and be like, well, here's the pink one, here's the blue one, here's the red one. Like, be like, okay.
No, I agree.
So, like, I have these back here. If you want one, just let me know. But here's all the normal ones.
Here's my normal candles. Back behind the beads there, that's the... you gotta be older to check out those candles.
You gotta be 21 or older, or stand this tall to make it back there.
because like, I'm not knocking how you do what you do for your job, but I just like having that as the front and center thing when there's kids ranging from the age of 0 to 9
running around. 36.
36, yeah.
Your kid's up to 36 years old running around here.
But it just is
I
like
I agree with you, but I am criticizing what they do for a living because these skills that James is referring to, they're not to be used to make your naked women candles. They're just not. That's not the purpose of them. If that's an abuse of the skill that you have, and you should be ashamed of yourself, naked woman candle maker.
well,
If you're
I
from Germany.
So the horsemen do not condone naked women candle makers, but erotic pastries and jars, sure.
Are you talking? When you talk about erotic pastries, are you talking about the penis-shaped cake that you keep asking us to get you?
The one that you got for your birthday last year, yeah.
Yeah, the one you really liked, the one you ate all of.
Yeah, it was great.
It's like, man, you should have saved some for the rest of us.
it was. Well, I mean, it was big and black, so it's all right. I mean, chocolate. I mean,
Points to edit out. That's all we're at.
This is the worst episode ever.
Oh man!
I've already used that title, so.
Well, I mean, it's as good as a butter smooth monkey.
Hey Barry, why in the world are you hollering at the top of your voice?
Yeah, I don't understand why you're yelling so much.
I am not yelling.
You gotta turn your thing down a bit.
I'm really not yelling.
But is your microphone like right here?
No,
it's right in his face.
No, my microphone is here.
Well, it's so really
far
picking
off
you
screen.
Up.
Well, you guys said that you couldn't hear me earlier, so.
Yes, and then we told you to turn it down a touch.
I did.
Can we talk about earlier? Barry was talking about a hypothetical financial whatever thing, and he would have to be better smooth for this financial transaction. Part of the contract is Barry would have to be silky smooth
from head to toe.
Well, I do have
no body hair on Barry.
I do have thighs. What was it?
Like granite wrapped in silk.
Yeah,
wrapped in silk, man.
No, those are my thighs.
Barry's had that going for a long time.
That's right.
Oh man!
Now they'll be hairless granite wrapped in silk.
Jeez.
I do have to say, so why? So I've been trying to say, well, I'm close to selling my house. And so this past week, I've been taking care of a friend who is an avid listener to the podcast, his dog. And so on Friday, I decided to, you have a person's house that you go into and you go, if I turn this thing slightly to the left, would they ever know this?
So you shaved his dog.
Well, no.
Have you been replacing family photos with pictures of yourself?
That's the next time I house set for him, or dog set. But no, I went to a consignment shop and found a item that I snuck into his house. But I put it in the most obvious place.
It's a naked lady candle.
No, well, I mean, I was wanting to buy what to expect when you are expecting book. That was very graphical, but I chose not to. But I did buy a pineapple. It was like a glass pineapple because I thought about the TV show called Psych. And I stuck it up on top of his wall cabinets, which is the perfect spot because it sinks down, and I am 6'5" or 6'4", and so I easily could do this. And he was like, he texted me. He's like, "Did you put a pineapple on top of my cabinets?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I had to climb on the cabinets to get it down." My son was like, "What is that?"
I'll get a giant step ladder there.
So I put it up so they couldn't get it.
And the reason why
awesome.
everybody's confused on how tall he is, it depends on what convenience store he's living.
That's true. Or what doorway
That's
I walk
awesome.
out of.
But I'll tell you though, I agree with James that your next thing should be replacing family photos with pictures of you.
Well, I thought if it wasn't on Friday, they came back on Saturday, I would have totally done that.
Yeah.
Because they have on their wall, they have like the pregnancy, like they follow through the second child's pregnancy.
Oh my gosh!
and what
you know, week 25, it's just a picture of Baby going.
No, what I want to do, so it's like a 6x6 square with like different photos in it. What I would want to do is like do sections of my face, so it'd be like, where it's like part, like this part on this corner, that and then like once you put them all together, it's my face.
That kind of reminds me of when Casey was going to rent that house, and my cousin was thinking about renting that house from him. We told Casey he needed to put pictures of himself everywhere, and
like there was a condition they had to stay. They couldn't.
Pictures of Casey had to stay. And there's one of him, like his high school senior
like,
picture of him, and he's like got this pose going. And we wanted him to write, "I'm always watching you, XOXO Casey," in the picture.
That would be funny.
And leave it on a bedside table or something.
So,
this has to stay here. We don't know.
I did.
I mean, we know that there was no pictures of Casey in his actual house he grew up in. It was just all his sister. So,
oh man.
Well, there was no camera with a lens wide enough in the 80s to capture that head, so they had to.
I did.
Man.
Yeah, most babies' heads are measured in inches. Casey's was measured in feet.
That's 23 feet.
I remember when we found that book, that was all we laughed at for like a good day.
Oh, yeah.
Was just Casey's measurements, because they didn't put inches or anything. It just said 24.
So since I've been working on cleaning out my house to get ready to sell, I came across a certain photo randomly, and I just sent it to the Horsemen group chat.
Oh my gosh!
I can't look at it. I'm on my phone. It'll mess up.
I will. So
why do you think that?
I don't know. It was in something of my and James's mom and dad's stuff. What's that?
Look at it.
Mullet at one point.
Look at it, Andrew.
Come further. Come. No, put it dead center. I can't see it. Wow, nice.
That's me with a mullet there.
Yeah, what happened?
Circa early 1990s, I would guess. Pretty sweet shirt too.
Like me and James had some photos in it, but like that one came across. I was like, why do they have a photo of Casey?
Is that a half white, half denim button up? Is that what you're wearing in that?
Man,
I did. I wish I still see half party, half
business.
Have business there.
Sorry, ladies. Party. Casey is married.
Yep.
Yeah. Got the mullet. The shirt version of a mullet there, and an actual mullet. So that's pretty sweet.
That's mullet squared right there.
Yeah.
Man, that was.
I just thought you would enjoy that.
The first round is
right.
one.
Because I really don't know
What'd you-
why they had it, but I was like, well, this is interesting.
Well,
Who knows?
if I had that picture, I'd still have it. I can tell you that. That's not something you get rid of.
Did you happen across your afro picture?
That would
No,
be epic.
We have to find the afro.
I'm going to text my mom right now.
We have to get the afro.
We need this quick.
Oh, she won't have it now. It's
No,
in some
but-
kind of. I'm sure it's in a tote somewhere.
It's probably in a time capsule that she just, it's preserved. Your birth certificate and stuff is just in a tote somewhere. This photo of Avery with an afro is, in a sealed Mylar bag and pressure case. It's more protected than like the Constitution.
For sure. For sure.
Like they called your mom on how to protect the Mona Lisa because they knew she had this photo of Avery. So
With a sweet afro.
Mm-hmm.
So, James, we've got a game of the week. It's not really, it's kind of retro. I guess you could call it retro-ish in its presentation, but it's not a retro game. But tell us about this game you're playing.
Oh, so yeah, it's called WrestleQuest. It's a RPG game. It is done in kind of like the 16-bit, 32-bit like style, but its own like modern systems. I played on my PS5. You play as it's a toy wrestler. Like he has dreams of being as great as like Macho Man Randy Savage. And like you venture around to like different areas of the toy box and you encounter different like toys that want to be wrestlers and everything. But they've got like Andre the Giant is in it. Sergeant Slaughter's in it. Jeff Jarrett's in it.
Wow.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Conrad Thompson is like the sort of narrator thing in it because you play as like the Randy Savage kind of wannabe character, and then you play as another guy who is like a Bret Hart hitman sort of character, and you bounce in between the two stories by Conrad Thompson talking in like a podcast like studio with Jeff Jarrett and Diamond Dallas Page and all these kind of guys, and it just transitions between the two stories. And you learn new moves, and you have like tag teams, and you can find like little like plastic, like toy arms and stuff that change your character around and have different like buffs and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty in-depth, intriguing little like game. I recommend.
They don't have Ric Flair, right?
They have a Ric Flair character. I can't remember what his name is, but it is essentially the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Just they can't call him the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Like he's platinum blonde hair, wears a robe, wears like sunglasses, like what Flair would have worn in like the late '80s, early '90s, sort of. Yeah.
But they have Macho Man, they have Andre the Giant, Jeff Jarrett,
Junkyard Dog, Sergeant Slaughter.
So I'm surprised they don't have Ric Flair. Like I don't think WWE owns Ric Flair stuff any more than they own Junkyard Dogs. And Conrad Thompson is Ric Flair's son-in-law. I'm surprised at that. I wonder what that story is. Why they don't have Ric Flair?
I don't know.
Didn't pony up the money for.
That's probably it.
That's probably it. But yeah, they have a Ric Flair-esque character. So, but it's a lot of fun. Like you start out in like a wrestling school, and like your first couple of missions are like the tutorial stuff, and then you transition over to like this hitman character, and he like tag teams with a moose. That's his tag team partner, and they're all trying to get
Canadian.
to.
The Mountie.
Yeah.
The Mountie.
So they're all trying to get to like WWE like promotion is what they're trying to get into. One, his dad runs a promotion, so he knows about following the scripts and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that you can get is a script change. So if you're like losing, you can play that, and it'll give you health back so you can win the match. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you can use Andre the Giant as a summons, so he comes out and picks the whole ring up and like dumps it.
Sweet.
That's awesome. So this is available on Windows and Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X or S, and Netflix games. So, interesting.
Netflix games. I didn't realize that was a thing.
I didn't either until this exact moment. Do you guys remember when we did the New Days Undertaker role playing game on Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
At Cotton Squalor? That was a waste of a good 30 minutes. It was funny.
It was funny though.
But we never made it out. So
I'm looking at the roster of characters for WrestleQuest. They have Al Snow, Andre the Giant, Booker T, British Bulldog, Lou Albano, DDP, Jake the Snake, Jeff Jarrett, Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware, La Parka.
Wow.
Lady Apache, Luna, both the Nasty Boys, Slaughter, Ricky Johnson, Soul Train Jones, the Road Warriors, and Savage. Those are all the big name people they have. And like I said, they have a Ric Flair-esque character.
Yeah.
But they don't call him Ric Flair.
That's interesting.
But it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can do like different tag teams like right now, and you can create your stable of like the people you wanna pal around with. And right now, I think it's the main guy. I have a like school teacher character, so like all of her moves are like, school-based stuff. Like she has one called like chemistry class where she throws like vials of acid at the opponent.
Pocket sand.
But like it's got the classic RPG like setup to where like you can be a tank character, you have support characters, you have all of that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I've played maybe 10, 15 hours into it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So what you tell me is she doesn't have pocket sand, she has pocket acid?
Yeah.
That seems dangerous for everybody.
I mean,
Yeah, everybody.
A full pocket of acid would be awful. Acid to the face.
Yeah. That doesn't seem good at all.
Like there's some characters that when you knock them out, they're done. But then like most of the time you have to pin the opponent, and like it's got a mini game for the pin. So like when you start the mini game for the pin, it's got a little like slider, and you have to click in the green to get it to count, but you only have 10 seconds for it to get the 3 count. Or they'll kick out and regain health, and you got to go from there. So,
That's interesting.
Is it worth the purchase? You believe?
I think so. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So,
how many tap outs out of 10 would you give it? I don't know. There's got to be a better thing. Maybe one of you guys could come up with something.
How many Ric Flair championship reigns out of 16?
There you go.
I'd say 12, probably.
Nice.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I mean, I had one problem with it, like it glitched out one time. So like whenever you have dungeon crawls, but you're just like trying to clear areas, and you'll just run into random figures to fight, and it glitched out one time to where it like put me out of bounds. So like I could move around on the screen would move, but you could never find your character. So that was one issue, but they just did an update which fixed all of that. So I think it's running exceptionally well now.
Well, good. Well, speaking of wrestling, we
hold on.
do often talk.
One second. Before we get off the game thing, because talking about tap outs out of 10 or whatever, the new Mortal Kombat game is about to
Mortal
release.
Kombat 1?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1, right? Yeah.
Is it another reboot?
Yeah, I think it is another reboot, which brings it back to. That's a callback to when Mortal Kombat movie came out.
I don't think it's a necessarily like a reboot of the timeline that we grew up with, like, because if you've not played Mortal Kombat 11, spoilers, Liu Kang is the fire god at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, and he's still the fire god in Mortal Kombat 1. So I think it's a sort of a new timeline thing starting from that point going forward.
Is Raiden just a normal dude in this? I think I read a little bit about Mortal Kombat.
I think Raiden is just a Shaolin monk.
Just some dude. He's kind of the Liu Kang, and Liu Kang's the Earthling protector or whatever.
I did see that, like, there's a scene where Raiden's talking to Liu Kang. No, what's his name? Not Liu Kang, but the other one, Kung Lao. Thank you. And he's like, "Look at my new hat," and it has the blades on it. And Raiden's like, "That seems like a very bad idea." And so he's like, "Nah, it's gonna be all right." And like he cuts himself, and Raiden goes, "I don't think that's gonna be effective." And so like he rifles it and like cuts off a head, and he catches it, and Raiden goes, "Okay, that might be very effective."
That's actually a good idea, to have a deadly razor blade on your hat that you can throw at somebody.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
I mean, look at Oddjob. He got a whole career out of it.
That's true. He did several odd jobs, if you will.
But it was just funny because he's like, that's not going to be very effective. And then he throws in, like, decapitates a Buddhist statue. And he's like, okay, it's probably going to be very effective. But we all know that, like, Kung Lao is the sacrificial lamb and everything.
I want to play it, but I heard it's unplayable, or not very good on the Switch, which is, I think, the only thing I have that it's out for, I think.
So it is out for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series X or S. Let's see about the reception here.
No Netflix.
No Netflix games.
Oh man.
I don't know. It's not doing too bad. Like 80% mostly. Game Informer gave it 9 out of 10.
Nice.
It just popped in my head, so I just wanted to gauge your guys' inputs on how what you guys thought about the new one before we switch topics to the other wrestling news.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Mortal Kombat fans around here. We've played a lot of Mortal Kombat together.
So Nintendo Life's rating system is 10 stars, which is almost as ridiculous as some of our rating systems. And it has, so again, this is Nintendo Life, gives Mortal Kombat 1 4 out of 10 stars.
Because of how it's not good for that system. The system's not powerful enough for it.
I think it's too advanced for the system.
But like Video Games Chronicle gives it 5 stars out of 5. Games Radar Plus 5 stars out of 5. Game Informer 9 out of 10. So like a lot of the reviews are good. It's just
I think the reviews for it are good. It's just the Nintendo Switch doesn't have the power to run it. I know Nintendo's supposedly working on like the Switch 2 or whatever the next Switch model is going to be called.
So wait. Do you think my old school Super Nintendo could run this game?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it should be fine, right?
Yeah.
You just need the expansion pack for the.
And
Just
you have to
port it over.
you have to hook it up to a car battery. But I think besides that, you'll be fine.
I think it should be fine.
It'll work.
You'll be
Yeah.
Just put the disc in the slot where the Super Nintendo game normally goes. It'll totally work.
If you have any kerosene soaked rags, I'd put them around the car battery to keep it good and cool.
Yeah. I would also make sure that you plug in a drill charger to run the system.
What you tell me is if I have any stain soaked rags, I should put them on the car battery too.
We
Stain?
found
What were they
NES
stained with?
But what, like wood stain? Have you never read the thing of wood stain? Wood stain says if you use a rag, you should make sure you like open it up because it could catch on fire.
Yeah, I was just staining some floors the other day. And you're supposed to like open them up and let them ventilate really good because it'll spontaneously.
So that's what's wrong with Casey's lawns is that he put stain down there.
I have been staining wood, so maybe that's why I'm messed up.
Maybe, but no, Casey, that's what I was referencing. That time we ran your old Super Nintendo. It wasn't a Super Nintendo; it was the original Nintendo. We plugged it into a battery charger.
Yeah,
because it fit. It made that terrible humming noise.
Yeah, it did not sound right.
Well, that was the same night that we was like, let's have s'mores at Casey's house, and like there was some newspaper, and we had lantern oil, and we tried to build a fire. That was that same night. My parents
had bought a whole lot of lamp oil for Y2K. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Let's just say it didn't burn well.
Well, that's all we had. We had a lot of it too.
And those newspapers that.
And Andrew, every time Andrew would come over, he would eat really hard old marshmallows out of the bag. I'm pretty sure.
Probably also from Y2K.
Ruined marshmallows. They don't keep for very long once you open them.
Evidently not, but they were good. I don't know. I lived. I was fine.
Become stale.
They were very stale, but marshmallows are marshmallows.
We did leave a bunch of like stuff out there in the yard, like this lamp oil will keep. Let's just leave it all out here by this smoldering pile of newspapers that we found.
Just throw it in the fire here.
It'll be fine.
James is actually a pretty good pyromaniac when you need him to be.
Just a little.
Well, yeah, but that day he did not do well.
That was one of those days I was like, that was one of those days I was just phoning it in.
It's like, James, all we got is wet wood and lamp oil.
Good luck. Some newspapers.
I made a fire. Like
you get a fire going.
You guys did dance around it, yeah.
You did too. Don't act like you weren't right there with us.
I did, yeah.
we was pretty excited when the planes came up.
I remember when Casey broke up with a person, and I built a fire to help him burn all of those items. That was a really good fire. That one burned for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So
burned great.
Yeah.
It was probably the evil that really helped.
Probably,
The items held, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys throw some salt in with it to purify the items?
Oh my goodness.
No.
So, getting off of this topic as quickly as possible, we've got some. Good grief! Sorry. We've got some news from WWE. We do like to kind of talk about how when they do the big releases, and they've done some big releases. I'll just read the list here real quick: Mustafa Ali, Emma, Madcap Moss, Aaliyah, Matt Riddle, Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, Mace, Mansoor, Dana Brooke, Dabba-Kato, Shanky, Eichmann Giro, Ulyssa Leon, Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Kevin Ventura Cortez, Daniel MacArthur, Alexis Gray, Brooklyn Barlow, and Abdul Abadi Fitzgerald. So some nobodies in there, but to me, and we talked about this kind of in our group chat a little bit, but Dolph Ziggler and Shelton Benjamin are extremely underrated pro wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, wait! Did they release Elias's brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain when Elias hit the door, so did Ezekiel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm just saying.
Here, how many wrestlers did they have at one point? It seems like they just keep releasing and releasing and releasing. Do they have like hundreds and hundreds of wrestlers?
Well, a lot of these guys were in the performance center, so they were kind of in training.
Do these guys get paid? You think?
Presumably.
I think so.
They make a living doing this? Or?
I mean, it's probably like minor league baseball.
Probably.
So not
I
really.
do have to say,
No, they're probably.
No, go on, Andrew. I will say after.
They're probably working the ones that are not on television are probably working other jobs as well.
Yeah.
Because they don't. I guess they don't ever release a list like here's a list of all the people we've signed. It's always here's all the people we've released, and it's giant lists every time.
Yeah, the signings are 1 and 2 at a time, and the releases are several.
I figured after the merger because WWE and USC they finally finished the merger.
This is the first release after the merger, I guess.
Yeah, I think they merged like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, it was official
I figured
last
there'd be
week.
some Lawson. Yeah, so I figured there would be some cuts because they cut a bunch of backstage personnel and producers too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I do have to say most of those sounds like foreign names on that list.
Yeah.
And so it makes me wonder if that clean house of the Saudi Arabia deal that they had in place, because they signed a bunch from that
point
from that area to I did read that the partnership between Raw and USA is splitting. And that SmackDown won't be on Fox anymore either.
Well, that makes more sense. But USA's been with WWE for 30 years or more.
Well, SmackDown's going back to USA. So I don't know where Raw and USA are splitting, but SmackDown's going back to USA. That was part of their like they announced a bunch of backstage producer cuts. Announced the new TV deal that in 2024 it'll be back on USA, and then they started cutting the talent.
Are they going to do some are there going to be some UFC fighters coming in as wrestlers, or the other way around? There going to be more wrestlers trying to fight?
I mean, you'll probably get some of that. I don't know how much, but you probably will get some of that because of this.
Yeah.
So I do see what Avery's talking about. And I see what you're talking about too. 2 headlines from What Culture, WWE, or one from What Culture and one from Cultaholic. WWE Raw expected to leave USA Network, possibly moving from Monday nights, which is ridiculous. And then from What Culture, WWE SmackDown returning to USA Network in 2024. In 5-year, $1.4 billion deal. So I don't know where Raw's going, but evidently it is coming off USA.
So I have one from YouTube, not YouTube, Yahoo saying WWE Raw and NXT will cease airing on USA in late 2024. So
that's crazy.
I don't know.
Interesting. I didn't see those changes coming.
Oh, it's so I just Googled it to see what I could find, and it says that they're media deal with USA Network is through September of 2024, and any new media rights or deal is expected to begin in October. So it's not necessarily they're moving for sure. It's just that's when their deal with USA ends. So I think they're looking at Raw, NXT, and SmackDown as all three separate media deals.
Yeah,
So,
that's how they did the Fox USA thing initially, so that makes sense.
so it could just be they need to renegotiate.
Yeah, and this could be posturing for that.
Is Vince McMahon involved in all of this anymore, or is he?
No, he's done.
Yeah.
So
no, he's not. He's the executive chairman of the new company.
So I just read an article about
but
that.
But they don't have hands in the show anymore, right?
Yeah. I just read an article about that. So used to, before the merger, Triple H reported to Khan and Vince. And now since the merger, Khan runs WWE just like Dana White runs the UFC. And Vince McMahon has no input, as far as they know, into how the shows are going to be run and creative. He's just a board member now. So Nick Khan is who Triple H answers to. That was what the article was talking about, was how Triple H only responds, like, directly talks to Nick Khan and not Vince anymore.
So here's from Bleacher Report talking about Vince McMahon. So he doesn't have majority control of WWE anymore because of the merger, obviously. But McMahon owns 16.4% of TKO, and he is the executive chairman of the whole company. Not just UFC or whatever, but the whole company. And it says, is expected to remain involved in WWE creative decisions. Paul Levesque, better known as Triple H, will remain WWE's head of creative. But I do see where he reports not to Vince, but to the Khan guy. But yeah, he's still very much there. I mean, I don't think he's going to be losing much of anything.
Well, in other wrestling news, at the age of 70, Hulk Hogan married a 45-year-old.
Hulk Hogan did.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than a 25-year-old, I guess.
Well, not if you're the 45-year-old. You'd probably rather he married the 25-year-old.
Well, so
what I think is interesting about this merger is that Shane McMahon tried to buy the UFC at least once, maybe more than once, and Vince McMahon kind of blocked it.
Shut down. Yeah. It was back when the UFC was like bleeding money, and like they was like, "Don't nobody do it," and Dana White's like, "I will throw money in," and bought, and it's now a powerhouse. I mean, it's making money.
All these years later, Vince has made all that money off the merger. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But back to the people who's getting released. I mean, several names that will get picked up by other wrestling corporations and will do fine. It's just going to be interesting to see where they all land.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I've got a feeling a bunch of them will be in AEW, and some of them will make appearances probably at Impact. Maybe some will go to New Japan. I don't see very many of people on that list doing that.
I think
see
some
Shelton
will probably
Benjamin
go
retiring and becoming a coach. So
I could see some going to whatever Ring of Honor is now.
AEW.
Shelton Benjamin was in Ring of Honor before, so I was kind of thinking that would make sense too if he went to AEW to do the Ring of Honor thing.
Maybe.
But I don't know. He was pretty big in Ring of Honor.
Like I was saying about like Emma. Emma was big in Ring of Honor.
She was big in Impact too.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say is good thing they released both her and Madcap together because they're now married. So.
Oh, really?
Now, did you
good
say
then.
Rick Boggs was on that list?
Yeah.
Now, that was interesting
Boogs,
because did he just, like, he was like a up-and-coming star for WWE, and then, like, he had an injury.
Yeah, and then he returned and beat The Miz, and then they started this whole, like, mentorship between Elias and him, and it looked like they were going to form a tag team, and then it just kind of drifted off into nothing.
Well, like, yeah,
So.
like, because he wasn't a bad, like, his gimmick was over. Like,
is he the guy
people
that plays
liked him.
guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people liked him. Like, it was like the Elias thing, but, like, he was actually somewhat decent in the ring.
I mean, Elias was fine in the ring.
Yeah.
It's just they never gave him enough time in the ring. Like, he put on some good matches. I mean, I saw Elias at a house show one time, and it was longer than his typical 3.5 minute match you see on Raw. And he had some very impressive moves, and it was very, like, believable. It was a good match. So
Now, did you guys see the Instagram I sent of Edge talking about the Nexus and how they was like yelling at, well, like, these guys need to get over, and they was fighting Cena, and like they DDT'd Cena onto the concrete. And
where he was talking about the Survivor Series, where
yeah,
they had the really good build up to it, and then
and they was like
Edge has made it several shows talking about that, how he disagreed with it. Jericho's the one you ought to listen to on that whole situation. Jericho caused a giant fiasco and an ego boost for a certain individual.
Cena.
well,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the Survivor Series match where all of them lose, and it's Cena versus the Nexus, and he picks them all off like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Well, like it was hilarious, like, not hilarious listening to Edge, but Edge is like, you know, you got this guy who has now got DDT'd on a concrete floor, and then easily kicks out of the next move, pins the dude, and then quickly makes the other one submit. Like, it was like, well, you know, this match has gone long enough. I've seen time to just wrap this up so we can all go home, and he pins and submits.
It was like a 25, 30-minute match or something. It was a traditional Survivor Series match, but all of Cena's teammates were beaten within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they never give those things enough time.
So it was 7-on-1, and he picks off 7 people.
Dude, he was the Hulk Hogan, you know.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch the end of that thing of, like, how fast they was like, all right, so Justin Gabriel does his, like, thing, misses and gets pinned, and then, like, Wade Barrett comes in and, like, goes at Cena, and Cena's like, oh, slip down the mat, STFU, tap out, oh, win the Cena.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, what? Huh?
Man, Cena's the worst.
Like, he crushed, like, that whole team's thing in a matter of minutes. And it's like, you know, if he lost that match, it would have done nothing to his career. It would have helped their career keep going. But I think after that, they all pretty much fizzled out. Other than Wade Barrett, and he barely kept it going until his thing fizzled out.
Cena was already made. There was no reason for him not to lose that match. He should have lost that for sure.
Just to have that ego boost, I guess.
That's right. He didn't need the win, that's for sure. Well, anyway, we went off on some tangents. We had some good times. I think it's time that we draw this Chinwag to a close. So, Barry, if the folks want to email us, we'd love to hear from them. We want to hear from the folks. We want to hear suggestions for topics. We want to hear suggestions for Heart Kid Versus, all of that kind of stuff. So, hey, Barry, if the folks want to email us, what email address should they send their message to?
Chinwag with Horsemen at gmail.com.
That is correct, hey, Barry.
Good job. He got it.
Yes.
Casey, if they want to see our faces, and I don't know why they would, but if they want to see our faces, they can find us on YouTube. What would they need to search to find us there?
They go to the YouTube. They can type in Chinwag with the Horseman, and they'll find us a whole channel and everything.
And we come right up.
Nothing but Chinwag videos.
Unbelievable. And my nudes, but they're very tasteful.
Yes.
And then James, I think I asked you this the first time around. I was trying to mix it up a little bit, but I think I asked you this at the opening too. But if they want to X at us, how do they do that?
You get on X and you hit us up at Chinwag Horseman.
Perfect. There we are.
I have no clue. We'll call Elon as soon as we get off here and figure out what X actually stands for.
And we got to call Kenny Loggins too. So.
And Kenny Loggins, yeah. Get dangerous.
We got him on speed dial.
I mean, if we luck out, they both might be hanging out together.
Yeah, they usually are this time of night.
We gotta have a big afternoon or a big night. So once we figure this all out, we will drop a line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Chinwag with the Horseman, I'm Andrew.
I'm Mayberry.
I'm James.
And I'm Casey.
Thanks for listening.